Hello, everybody. I am SunPsychic Jean, and please welcome my very special co-host for tonight, Daphne from Relax with Daphne, and Stacey from Sacred Key Codes.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome, ladies. Welcome. Thank you all for being here. And thank you. I see Amanda Carroll is in the chat, and I think she's been on every show I was on today. She said, "You're a happy little busy bee today." I know, and it's my Friday triple header, Amanda, and I'm sure that it's a real fun Friday for me. So I always look forward to being here. And Holly Duchesne and Diane G and Akila B, MJ420 and Jen Bowles, everybody is here. So nice to see you. And I just wanted to maybe talk a little bit about what's been happening in our energetic fields. What is something that we can maybe overall suggestion or overall information that's important for us to know right now? Does anybody
Thank
want to?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll dive in. Thank you so much, Jean. I always love being here with your community. And for me, what has been coming up is although there's sort of a acceleration and a buoyancy, that can leave some people feeling really flat, right? Like the excitement is overwhelming. The intensity of it might be a little difficult. And you probably can guess that my recommendation is always to spend some time in nature with your feet on the ground and tuning into being here in this moment right now. And I think that can be really soothing for people. If you find yourself excited, frightened, worried, nervous, and then you feel nothing at all, you feel numb, it's time to reconnect with nature. So that's what I'm getting right now.
It's a beautiful, beautiful message. And reconnect inside here, connect with our own thoughts and feelings and our own energy centers. How about you, Stacey?
I feel like we've had the energy's been all over the place. Like some people are riding it and they're doing great, but a lot of people, it's been hard. It's been like very intense, very, very intense. And I feel like that swing back and forth. And since it's been the Lionsgate portal, I've been working just with that infinity loop and that figure eight. And like whenever something comes up, I'm just noticing where I can be in unity with it in the middle or where I keep dragging into the other side of that loop and where I'm falling off balance. And so just really focusing on that balance and that resting and integration point, because I think with all this energy, there's a lot of momentum to do, right? To go and keep going and producing and doing things. So when we can really tie it back into ourselves, like Daphne was saying, and just integrate the energies. Like we don't need to go do anything with it. We can just receive right now and we can just integrate. And I think that's going to be kind of the best way to use it. So just very internalized. Very internalized with it.
Mm. I agree with that. That's really important to allow that time and that space and that energy for integration because of so many of the shifts and the changes, not only astrological with the Lionsgate, but on Earth with the weather and in communities and just there's so many different things coming at us all at once. I do know that there are some people who are going through um, you know, life changes and life changes are hard, even like moving. Even, but I just know that sometimes with these big changes and these big energies, that, there are some people who take it or who feel it a little more intensely than others. So it's really important for us to hold space for those people who may be having a health emergency or a family member who passed or and we are becoming more and more sensitive to be in tune with these energies. And then when those shifts occur, it seems to be more of a magnification on our system. So it's really important for us to take these things in stride, and make sure that we take care of ourselves and practice that self-care. And as you can hear, my voice has really slowed down and become purposeful. And this is coming from them. I'm noticing that myself. I thought that was really interesting that that's part of the message. It is exciting. There are changes, and it's important to, you know, uh, lift your energy and to, um, blend with that higher vibration, and also integrate. It's not but or, it's and. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, look
Really
who's
well.
here. Scott Scorpio's son Terrell is here. Hi, Scott. Nice to see you. Thank you very much for stopping by. So, we're going to be doing some readings for everybody tonight. And if I can get my little banner up. So, we're doing spirit guide readings, angel readings, and ancestral readings. And Daphne, can you tell us a little bit about sort of what we mean by ancestral readings?
Yes, it's not often that our ancestors, deep ancestors from way back in history, serve as our spirit guides. But if we ask for their help, it's there. And I started looking at ancestors, deep ancestry, when they started appearing during Reiki work with my clients. I would be working on somebody's root chakra or their solar plexus chakra, and suddenly one of their ancestors was in the room. And it's a little bit different than mediumship because these aren't necessarily people that you know. And in fact, one of the ancestors that I connected with, he was so far back in time, it was before people had individual names, right? He just, in his community, he had a name that was the equivalent of his job. And that's because we hadn't developed that yet, but he was willing to share his wisdom and his guidance and encouragement to his descendant. And I really loved being able to pass on those kind of messages. It's not like evidential mediumship where you can say, oh, yes, that's my grandmother, but you probably will recognize and resonate with a sort of a band of energy that is consistent within you, because these are people who you've inherited their DNA, you've inherited their trauma, you've inherited some of their wisdom. There's a reason why people are getting smarter and smarter and smarter, is because we are the recipient of those gifts. So that's what I mean when I say ancestor reading.
That was really well explained. Thank you very much. Um, and I'm just looking through the chat. Thank you very much for popping up your question, for using caps and emojis. Um, Yeah, I know. We're all struggling sometimes with personal issues and the time jump. Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. So I think it's real important to, and the weather. Yeah, a lot of people are popping in, just responding to what we were saying there. Um, it's really lovely. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm still looking for the questions, but let's go ahead and start with Akila B. And she wants to, um, she's asking for an ancestral message.
Yes. Well, as I'm looking at her avatar, she may or may not look like that in real life, right? Our avatars may or may not represent our physical appearance, but what I'm seeing is probably about 25 or 30 generations back. There are some really, I'm getting chills as I say this, there's some really strong, intelligent, dare I say, wily and clever women in your ancestry who have bequeathed those kind of strengths to you. And they were really, really good at making do. They were really good at avoiding the type of scrutiny that they didn't want to receive. They were very smart about how they presented themselves and what battles they chose to fight. I don't know if any of that is resonating with you, but they are collectively so delighted that you are the recipient of all these gifts and strengths that they have put forward. And they think you're doing a fantastic job and that you are sort of, yeah, I mean, we've heard this before, like we are the dream our ancestors had, right? But in Akila's case, it is absolutely true. These women are amazing, and you could be so proud of carrying their legacy out into the world today. Yay, I'm glad you like that. Yes.
Very nice. So, Stacey, did you want to weigh in on Akila, or did you want to go on to another question? Like, do you want to do one question each, or do you want to each do the same question? I can do it either way.
I can kind of add. I feel like it was very similar to what Daphne said, but there was definitely a strong pull toward that divine feminine expression. And I just got this big energy toward feminine empowerment, leadership, strength, and really carrying that wisdom and that inner truth. Because I feel like it's been passed on through her lineage, but like there was like a muddled period, but it's reawakening definitely through her. And her, it's almost like they're asking for her to say yes, to say yes to her higher mission here and her purpose. Because it feels like a little bit intimidating, and I feel like she knows, but she hasn't really stepped into how big it really is, because it feels like there's a definite big huge energy, and basically the ancestors are saying it's like you're not here doing it alone. You have this support, and they're also tapping into the community around her, because it's not only the ancestors from the past, but it's bringing up that lineage that she has in her community here and now. So.
Yeah.
Wow. And with this, it's important for us to balance this within our own lives, but also carry this mission in our heart and move towards that goal. And so, Akila, what I'm feeling for you is that your ancestors are letting me know that they have had also wounds and lessons, and they have had people who have betrayed them, and they have had wars that they lost, and they've had illness come to the village. They have overcome these challenges, these milestones, these the challenges, and what was necessary for them to bring up the strength that they had inside of them in order to muster and carry on. You are here because they were strong enough to continue, to move forward, to carry the line, to carry the dream, to carry the mission. And with each generation, it's the hope of this is the generation where we will achieve or stand up and be recognized. I feel like this strength, all of the challenges, all of the uh, you know all of the challenges that your ancestors have survived is what makes us who we are. It's not only their wisdom, not only their techniques and their qualities and their personalities that come through us. It's also their strength and what they withstood and how that made them stronger and how much they wanted the lineage to continue on and and this is where you are now. So they just want you to stand proudly and remember them for all of the attributes as well as all of the triumphs that they experienced. So I hope that was meaningful for you. Thank you very much. Scott says he subbed to Stacey and Daphne's channel. See? He subscribed. Thank you, Scott. What a wonderful idea. I do have all of Daphne and Stacey's information in the show notes below. So thank you very much for reminding me of that. And thank you, Gina M. She's posting all of our channels, all of your channels in the chat as well. So Heavenly says, go, Keela. You go, girl, right? Wow. She says, I will keep calling them into my meditations. Yes, it's very meaningful what they've been through and what they persevere through. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Akila. Wow, that was really powerful for a jump off point, right? Whew. Lovely. Okay, so let's see. um, see, I do see Tara. Tara, if you could just let us know that you're still here, just say hello in the chat. And Max's mom, you'll be next. And if you could just let us know that you're in the chat as well. So Tara and Max's mom, that would be great. I'll try and do two ahead so we don't have to wait in between. Okay, she's still here. She would love a reading from the ancestors. Thanks, Max. Max's mom.
Does someone else want to start off this time?
If you have something right away, I would go ahead. Yeah. Whoever gets it first is fine.
Yeah. Well, when I look at your lineage, Tara, I see sort of an unbroken line and then a jog and then an unbroken line and then a jog. Like there's some detour that was made in your ancestry. And to me, it seems like they, whoever was living at this time, like either relocated to avoid some disastrous war or something. And then they were gone for a few generations and then they went back. And I think the reason why they're highlighting that to me is that it's so beautiful. It's an unbroken line that has had to adapt. And I think they're bringing that forward to let you know that what this lifetime is building on lifetimes before and lifetimes after. So if you have to make adjustments and accommodations that maybe aren't your first choice, but you're doing it for the sake of the community, for the sake of the line, that you can take great pride in the role that you're playing. And there's something about that adaptability, that flexibility, that willingness to change your path in response to the environment that is part of your inheritance from them. That flexibility, it's almost as if somebody back in those days foresaw something really bad happening and made an adjustment that was life-saving. And then they came back either to the same location or they married into a family that they knew before they had made this adjustment. Yeah, it's really quite remarkable. And I think some of the gifts that are coming down from that is, I don't know if you are claircognizant or clairvoyant. It's almost like you can forecast the future in a broader pattern sense. So things that not only affect you personally, but your family, your community, your neighborhood. There's something about the gifts that they sent down to you that lets you avoid things. And you might just think, oh, wow, that was a lucky sort of choice. But it's both your internal wisdom and your ancestors nudging you. So definitely pay attention if you get those hints from the universe.
Oh, that's powerful.
Yeah, that was really beautiful. When I first started to tune in, it felt like there was this big loss. Like there was a lot of wounding around self-worth, security, and these patterns of scarcity. But it also felt like there was a lot of intuition gained from it. Like it was able to come online in a bigger way. Like Daphne said, you're able to use this resourcefulness within yourself. And it was, there was this, the message behind it was, you know, putting yourself first, and using your knowledge and your intuition. Cause I feel like you've been one in your family that has already started to change the patterns. And they also have this message around following the synchronicities. Like I feel like you've been getting a lot of synchronicities and they've been connecting with you, and even your guides and angels have. And it's more this trust, like really trusting in that intuition and kind of just being okay with like you coming first is like the big message for it. And honoring your self-worth, because when you do that, it changes this pattern throughout the whole lineage.
Interesting. You didn't know you were going to learn all this, Tara, did you, today? Oh my goodness. Well, um, I don't, there's no reason for me to think this, but the energy that I was picking up for you, Tara, is sort of like an orphan, sort of like somebody who was lost. And perhaps, I don't know what happened around this, what caused one of your ancestors to become an orphan, but there was either war, there was either illness, or there was you were stolen from a village or from a traveling, line. There was something where you were left as an orphan. You were picked up. You were cared for. Not you, but your ancestors were cared for. And this is, I think, this when Daphne saw that jagged change in direction. That's when I started feeling this sort of orphan or pulled from your original lineage, brought into a new family, and then assumed this lineage from this new family, which then you continued on. But it's almost like reinventing yourself. And this did not happen to you or to your ancestors. This happened for your ancestors. It was necessary for the mix of DNA or family, the for the mix to occur, for the reset to occur. Like there was almost it was necessary for your unique lineage to continue on. Like you were the last survivor. So not you, I'm just saying, I'm sorry, your ancestors, somebody in your ancestor line was the last survivor. But it was necessary so that, so that the entire uh, village wasn't just ended or wiped out. It was necessary for this to carry on. And so I want to make sure that you understand it didn't happen to them, it happened for them. That these are pre-life plan arrangements that come in. So okay, when this happens and that all of the family dies for some reason and you're left behind, this is for the next family that adopts you and loves you and brings you in. I got the word grace, that it was divine grace that was helping to organize this with your ancestors. And it's really, what does this mean for you, Tara? I don't know if you felt as though you're not like a lot of other people, or that you feel that you may be missing something that other people have, which is sort of like a family lineage, or the feeling of familiarity with your siblings. You may be feeling like you're the only like you're the, what do they call it, like the black sheep of the family, that you feel just a little left out, a little odd, a little different. um it might be because of this being your in your ancestry, that baby being the only one there, like, I think that this energy can be carried down through the generations and also can be healed. You can do healing work and discover and uncover this and find out what the gift in this situation might be for you. But I thought that was interesting that I got orphan, adoption, and then grace. But it's really, mm, and it's the survivor again. It's that survivor. It's like Achilles' family, that they're survivors, and that this is what is necessary for the next generation of humanity to evolve, is being the survivor. And I think that this is a message for all of us, that if we're all here, then all of our ancestors and we are too survivors. One of my ancestors' name is Grace, and I named my daughter after her. She was a warrior. Is your daughter's name really freaking Grace? I'm so sorry. I can't believe that. That is so crazy. Did you really name your daughter Grace? Oh my gosh. This is what they whispered to you, that there is grace. There is grace in your. Oh my gosh, she did. She's saying yes. The grace is your daughter, but it's also the divine grace. And this is so beautiful. And this is what you all carry in your DNA, in your lineage, in your souls. Yeah. Wow.
Beautiful.
Getting really emotional. Wow. Thank you. Thank you very much, Tara. We appreciate your energy. Okay. So I said that, let me just see if I can remember here. Oh, yeah. Max's mom is here. And after Max's mom is Scott Scorpio. And I'm going to write that down. Scott, you're next after Max's mom. So just say hello that you're still here. And we'll do that. Okay. So happy to be Max's mom. Would love a reading from her ancestors. Thank you. And if we could keep the same rotation, maybe that might be.
Okay. It's so interesting. I'm getting a pattern with your lineage that is, there's almost like two diametrically opposed energies that are trying to integrate in your family line. It's like I'm seeing, I don't know why they're showing me this, but I'm seeing like crescents and then I'm seeing zigzags. And it's almost like the women in your lineage have been attracted to a certain type of man. And the certain type of man has been attracted to the women in your lineage. So that to me says that there's something really important about the partners that you have in this life and how you choose people to love, to work with, to go into business with, anything that involves that intimate, trusting relationship. And the fact that these are two very different energies, two very different ways of moving through life, coming together, might leave you to have. I mean, you might struggle in those relationships, and yet there's a reason for it. There is some gift that is in that, the magic of these two different types of people coming together. And I am seeing like all the women in your lineage lined up and all the men in your lineage lining up, and they do follow a bit of a pattern, right? Like the same type of men, the same type of women. And that they're telling me there's something about the repetition and refinement of this energy going forward. And many of us are here to end our lineage, right? We may or may not have kids. We may or may not carry forward patterns of behavior, addictions, abuse. We might be here to heal those wounds. We might be here to stop the flow of that energy. It might have reached its natural conclusion, and then this is where it ends, right? Like, I don't have children. I know very clearly that it was up to me to take all the energy coming down my lineage and to use it for something different. And I don't know if this I don't know if you are going into business with somebody, but there's something about the types of relationships that you choose. And yes, yes, indeed. But there's something that you can do that's new, right? Like, you have all this expertise that's come down the line, and whether you're conscious of it or not, it is a force in your life, and it's part of the soul contract that you created to be here now, to work with this energy in a new setting, because the world is very different. Even our parents did not live in the same world that we live in, right? Things are really different. So you have the advantage of all this history, but you're not burdened by the same restrictions. So they're showing me that, like, the crescent shape and then the zigzag shape, those two very different energies are blending now and creating something completely unique. And at some point, there was a decision made in your family that they were going to undertake this pattern. Are you an experiencer by any chance? Because this is something I see in a lot of experiencer families, where there's sort of an agreement that involves generations, where you have signed up to do something that is going to take generations to unfold. And yeah, so I'm not getting too much more than that. I definitely want to hear from Stacey and Jean what they think of this, but I'm really, really happy to see
Yeah.
that you have recognized that pattern. Good for you.
Max's mom, let us know if you're an experiencer. And she just was saying that she also is writing a book.
Good. Yes.
That's her.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I tuned in, I got this back and forth energy, and it felt like there's been a lot of movement within the family lineage, like massive change has happened, but there's this underlying repeated cycle that kind of stays afoot, kind of like what Daphne was saying. And the message just kept coming up that it's about her making her own choices. It's about her breaking the chain, breaking the cycle, and almost like sending gratitude for all the momentous change she's has already taken on, and that self-responsibility, because I felt like even now, I feel like she's still got some big things that she's going to be challenged with. But there's just this beautiful power and strength that I feel like has ignited within her and has really pushed her into, I just hear like breaking the chains, breaking the cycles, freeing herself. And also, it feels like for her future lineage, like the focus is more so on her future lineage. And I feel like she can actually begin to tap into her future ancestral line, or it's not going to be ancestral, but her future bloodlines, and really begin to work with that, because it's almost like she's beginning to download this blueprint and this imprint of this radical change, like having that vision to move her forward and grasp onto, so that she can meet both sides of it and see and make her choices in a way where she's empowered, where it doesn't feel like she's externalized anymore, or it's having to choose between people or relationships or family, but it's really coming from this place of her higher intuition. And yeah, it feels very very powerful.
Oh, beautiful. And so she also says that she's been told that she is the end of this,
Yes.
the end of that, whatever it was that her family. Oh, she's shaking her head. Yes, she said that from Wow. Um, Let me just focus back in on what I was getting for you, Max's mom. I do also feel a little bit of that. It's not it, and Daphne was on was I'm just jumping off of what Daphne was saying. If you are not an ET experiencer, it is also in your lineage that you come from. You're a star seed. You come from another race and another planet. I feel as though this is why you're here to end that, because you have um, different uh, abilities or different tools or different frequencies to be able to end that other lineage. And it's almost like refining. And don't take this the wrong way. I'm just saying that it feels like that something is being upgraded, and all of humanity is being upgraded. All of humanity are evolving, and this is your participation in the evolution of humanity within your lineage by being your past life, being a star seed. You have different tools, different abilities, and different awarenesses that it's even the frequency is different, that was able to end whatever that lineage was. Um, and I think if you if you don't know it now, you may be able to do like a past life regression or a hypnosis session, or something like this, to perhaps learn about your ancestry, as far as your lineage from the stars, your star seed ancestry. But that's going a little bit way out there. But thank you very much for your question, Max's mom. You probably didn't expect all that. Oh gosh, she says intuitive and starseed. You do know. Oh my gosh. All right, good. You're welcome. You're welcome. Whew. Okay, so I have Scott is next, and after Scott, I have Holly Duchesne. So, Holly, if you're still here, just say hello. Actually, Holly and Denise Hammond, both of you, if you don't mind just saying hello, that'd be great. So, Scott would like a message from his guides or angels.
I almost feel like this is a trick question because he spends so much time listening to his guides and angels, and they are amazing. The energy is so beautiful. Now, I mean, all of our guides are really wonderful, admirable people, energies. And yet, I almost see them like lined up behind you with their arms crossed, like they are here to support you as you take on some really tough challenges, right? And the sense I'm getting is that they're it's like when you go to the gym and somebody's spotting you, right? You're doing the work, you're lifting the weights, that they're just making sure that you don't injure yourself. And that seems to be like a theme with them. I don't know if you are a bit of a daredevil, or if you like that adrenaline rush, but there's something about the guides that you have brought with you here that are like badasses basically. So it's this really like there's a lot of like energy, like, yeah, let's do this. So yes, yeah. And they don't care about the external circumstances, right? What they care about is that we learn our lessons and that we stretch and grow and challenge ourselves. So I just heard them say there is no failure. They don't even acknowledge failure, because generally what is happening is that you are stepping into an opportunity to expand and grow and strengthen yourself in ways that, may not even seem necessary at the time, but they see the how whatever the challenge you are going through is strengthening you and building capacity for future opportunities. So I just heard fortune favors the prepared, right? So every time you are bumping up against the limit of your current ability, just know that they are helping you expand your capacity and help you manage the intensity, because you are being prepared for something, not, I wouldn't say not necessarily challenging. I see you being prepared for an opportunity that you can't even imagine right now. It's like they're showing me like you taking 2 steps up, right? It's not just like an upgrade. It's like you're going to challenge yourself to do something that you could, 20 years ago, you could not have dreamed of, but you're going to have the opportunity to make a leap. And everything that you've done so far is preparing you for that. So, yeah, I'm excited for you. I want to hear what it is.
Yeah, I love what you said, Daphne, and I also feel like there's almost just like maybe a little bit of an imbalance. It feels like there's a lot of giving, there's a lot of love, there's a lot of sharing with others, but they were kind of showing me it's like it's okay to receive that back. It's okay to like really replenish your own cup and reach out as much as you give out. And it's really about this connection. It almost feels like this connection with yourself and your own guidance, like taking that deep, immersive one-on-one time to say like, I'm going to do this for me. And I feel like there's just this theme. It just feels like over giving. Just like, I just want to give and give because like, it feels like your heart is so limitless and so expansive and so full. And like, they want to give back to you. And it even feels like there's even a level within your guides where it's like, receive it for you now. Like they want to give it to you, but they need that openness, that space, because like Daphne said, there is this upgrade that's coming, but there's also this getting out of your comfort zone, like within your confidence and stuff. And it feels like you've made huge strides in that, but it feels like doing something daring. And I think that's what Daphne was saying, that the guides were daring, but I feel like it's you are stepping into something daring. You're connecting to that essence of yourself and that confidence, and you're rallying the support around you, because it feels like you are in such a loving community and they're here to support you and bring you up. And like, feel free to ask and like receive all that support that you give. So
That was beautiful. Oof. Okay, Scott. So I hear, and I don't know if you ladies, I didn't want to tell you, but I have a actual film of an angel flying into Scott's heart, and I don't know if you guys ever saw that before, but I've played it probably 2 dozen times, but it is really amazing. It flies in like this, it stops and then dives right into his heart. And we see it fly away too. So he actually does have a lot of angels and guides that are supporting him and holding him. But I feel as though you are sort of like coworkers with your spirit guides and angels. I feel like they rely on you as much as you rely on them. They're not there as a crutch to you. They're there as a like a team member. Like they can't do it without you, and well, you can't. But you need each other. You need a team effort, and they need you um, to make choices and to step out and be courageous in your choices, so that they can work through you, so that they can express their your I don't know if it's your destiny, but it's your mission or your privilege or your goals and your worth and your purpose and your value. They need to express this through you, but they can't do it for you. They need you to take the action. And taking the action, it requires courage and it requires self-examination. And they want you to know that they've got your back. That what do they say? The only thing to fear is fear itself. It really the inability to move into mm, a comfort zone, to move out of a comfort zone, is scarier than actually doing it. So they just want you to take baby steps, and they need your help in order to carry out their mission, because it's your mission too. They can't do it alone. They need you to take that step forward. They need you to set down all the baggage. They need you to set down all of the mm, sort of reasons why you say that you can't, and they are asking you to cooperate um, in helping uh, the effort. It's like you have the keys to the car. They're sitting in the seat next to you. They can't go anywhere unless you start up the car and press the gas. So they need you to move in order for the destiny to unfold. And yeah, so they're just letting you know that. So that's what I have to say. Yep. So thank you very much, Scott, for your question. I hope that resonated with you. Okay, I always feel more grounded when I ask my team to come in. Yep, and yep, very good.
Yeah, I think,
Hmm.
Jean, your analogy of they're sitting in the car, but only we can drive. I think that is such a great message for all of us. Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. So Tina McSee is next. I don't think that Holly or Denise Hammond are here anymore. And so after Tina McSee is Sherry Laidler. So Sherry, just let me know if you're still here. It's just so you know, guys, it's outside of my comfort zone to organize these questions and do readings. So
You're
please
doing
bear with
great.
me.
You're doing great.
Oh, you're welcome,
Yeah,
Scott. And he says it's beautiful for all of you. Thank you for reassuring me that they're there. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. No, that
Yeah.
that that light is on a timer there,
Mm.
Sonia. Sonia's like, oh, the light went on. All right. So Tina McSee says, may I have a message, ancestral or any other message? Thank you.
Tina, I'm really drawn to that picture of the hummingbird, and I don't think it's any accident that you chose that image. Um, I, I'm actually connecting in with the plant world right now. I do a lot of work with plant spirits, and hummingbirds are almost like they were designed by the plants. Is what the plants are telling me. And they have this beautiful, loving, symbiotic relationship with hummingbirds. Only hummingbirds are the only pollinators that can work with certain flowers, right? Because of the shape of their beak and the shape of the flower. And that's no accident. And what they're showing me is that things that have happened in your life are not may not be the accidents that you think they are going to be. Like I see you sort of considering all the things that have happened in your life and wondering why and wondering how they all connect. And the message that I'm getting is that those things all do connect, and there's a reason for that. There's something about the diversity of experiences that you wanted to have, and there's also I feel like when you stepped into this life, you were really intent on strengthening yourself, building up your strength. And one of the things that the sensation I'm getting is that the delicacy and the tenderness and the sensitivity that you bring to your life right now is very much a gift. And even if you don't do anything with it, bringing that energy into the community field, bringing it to the earth plane is such a beautiful job, right? So, no, just like we heard from Scott's guides, there is no failure. Everything that you are doing here, it's almost like you are holding space for those beautiful aspects of your personality, just to have that vibration here on the planet at this time. So, so important. And the sense that I'm getting is that if you cherished yourself as much as nature cherishes us, and your guides and angels and ancestors cherish you, you would be very content and you would feel such joy in your heart. And I hope that is how you feel, because I'm getting that it's such a strong message around that you are contributing beauty and love and joy. That whole layer of vibration is just gorgeous. So thank you, Tina. Really lovely to be in your energy.
That was so beautiful, Daphne. I too felt a beautiful, charismatic, loving energy from Tina when I tuned in. And there was this big theme, like it felt like around things feeling a little bit mundane and kind of like missing the magic is kind of the words that they gave me. And it was all about you creating your own magic. You're creating magic for others. You're spreading this light. You're spreading this joy. And you are so needed. And there is also like coming in around really being present in the moment and being present with yourself, because I feel like there is this deep intuitive connection that you have. But it's kind of like under the surface. It's kind of like easier to like be the support for others, but it feels like it's really coming online for yourself. And I just got this energy of like harnessing your soul's power, your soul's strength, and really beginning to shift things, because it feels like you're the only one who's going to make that movement in your life. You're the only one who's going to make those big waves of change. And it's kind of just like this reassurance that they're here to support you with that.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. Tina McSee, thank you for your question. I'm just going to take a moment. Tina, I think that you have an inkling of the future. I think that you have an awareness of that everything's going to turn out great. I think that I'm getting Lemuria for you, Tina. And I think that you've had past lives in other lifetimes or societies or communities, I think societies that have maybe self-destructed for one reason or another. And you're here again to represent that Lemurian type of energy feeling. And you know that it's almost like we're already, the future is already told, like it's already happened. And you know that everything's going to turn out all right. And this is why you're here. I'm not sure if you have an affinity to crystals specifically, or if you have an affinity, if you are very much a community. I mean, I know that you are here in this community, but in your personal life, if you really rally around your community and care about your community and check in on your community and participate. Like, were you a PTA or did you go to the soccer mom, or I don't know, whatever it was. I feel like you really care about your community and you have this like passion deep inside of you that it takes all of us working together in order to have this momentum to overcome and evolve. I think that you have this energy of momentum from the experience of your past lifetimes. I think that you had a glimpse of the what's possible. I don't know if you've ever had dreams, or if you ever had like a hypnosis that you saw some sort of glimpse of the future. But I don't. I just feel like you carry this energy of knowing that everything's going to turn out okay. And I'm like talking like 50 years from now. You kind of know, you see, you understand what it's going to look like, or what it's going to feel like. You have something about community. You're very much community oriented. Um, Okay, so she says, I was just saying that I feel like I jump from 6D to 3D and back in and out, but no, but I want to get more involved in my community. I feel like I timeline jump. Okay. And she does also work with crystals. Okay. Um, yeah, there's something that you know, and it's almost like you've lived it before. You know, it's not like you're here and you're thinking there. It's like you lived that before. And it may be the time that you're going back and forth, or you've seen the time, or you've dreamt about that time, or you know about that time. Um, Interesting. Really interesting, Tina. So thank you very much. Very much. Okay, so just as a reminder, everybody, we're doing spirit guide, angel, and ancestor readings today. And Daphne did such a wonderful job describing how we connect with our ancestors. And we are coming up to time. Oh my gosh. She says, yes, thank you. Spot on. You're very welcome. Ladies, we're coming up to an hour. Did you want to just pop in the private chat over here? Um, your availability, that would be great. All right. So, and I have Sherry is next. Let me get Sherry's question up. Sherry said she is here. And thank you, Tina McStee. It was fun connecting with you. So Sherry says, may I have a reading from ancestors, or what you choose? Okay, great. That was really nice. Thank you.
Yeah, as soon as I saw your name, Sherry, I saw your ancestors. I don't know if you'll know this, but there is a great deal of talent, possibly in metal craft, just some sort of like very utilitarian, but also artistic work, right? Like all of our ancestors had jobs. We all had to know stuff, right? Or you just don't survive. You have to farm, you have to build things, you have to know you have to know how to hunt. There's a lot of things you have to do. But as soon as I saw your name, there's something very metallic and dense happening in your distant past. And I'm almost getting a sense of somebody who was really clever and figured out how to mine and melt and form things out of metal. Like they were like the first person in their region who learned how to do this, and it was just it's probably inspiration from their guides. But the sense I'm getting is that they take immense pride in their abilities, and they had it. And as the line moved forward, it evolved from the basic like engineering and inventing into more artistic, more refined abilities. So you are the inheritor of a lot of really clever, intelligent, inventive, artistic energy. And I don't know how that has manifested in your life, or if it has. We don't have to do everything our ancestors bequeath us. We can pursue anything we feel like. But the sense of taking raw material, even if it's a person, taking raw material, imagining the possibilities, and refining a process, refining an understanding, a communication. This is a really wonderful skill to have inherited. And I feel like there are things you take for granted in your skill set and in your talent base because they're so easy for you. And you probably don't understand how enviable those traits and talents and abilities are, and how much other people would prize them. And I'm seeing like the Five of Cups in the tarot deck, where the person's looking at cups that have been turned over, but they're ignoring the ones that are still standing behind them. And I feel like you have undiscovered depths. And I know we're over time, so I'm going to pass it over to Stacey. But thank you, Sherry. Really, really interesting ancestors you have.
Yeah, when I tuned in, I felt like this big energy of like grounding and stability, and this reminder almost like to stand your ground, that you have the support behind you, that you have this not, it's almost like don't sway from the decisions that you're wanting to make right now, from the path that you're wanting to embark upon, because it's your time. And it feels like, with what Daphne was saying, like this strength, this almost like ingenuity, within the land, because I feel like there's this deep connection to the land, but also having the ingenuity to use its resources, and in a new way, in a way that really begins to expand your capacity, to really make changes. And it feels like even just doing work in the land, connecting with the land, talking to the land, I feel like that's going to be a really deep way that your ancestors can connect with you. And even just playing with the elements in a way, almost like reminds me of like an alchemist, that beautiful transformational energy. And I don't know if you're going through anything right now, but it's just really, really staying connected and really using that anchor point, and seeing what you can create from your experiences and your circumstances right now.
Hi, Sherry. Thanks for being here. I see a lot of abundance for you, Sherry. And what I mean by that is like family and friends and happiness. And I feel as though you really know how to have, how to create joy in your life. I feel like you are, you love playing off of other people's energies, and solitude would be like your worst nightmare. You love being around people, you love being in a group of people, you love sort of, I almost see you, I mean, and this is just an image that came into my mind. I almost see you like at a lunchroom or a cafeteria where you go around to table to table to table, and you sprinkle your fairy dust, and you're saying hello, 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 and spreading your joy and spreading your love, and you are you have this lightness to your energy, and you love to sort of commune and collect with others around you. I feel as though your family are your neighbors and friends. I feel as though um, and these are the people who support you and give you that zest for life. They energize you and fuel you, with the response to they mirror you, and they are reflecting back your own soul, and your kindness and your generosity. Um, I feel like you're very much a not a pillar in the community, but an honored member of the community, and people look up to you as a matriarch in some way. you're very much trusted and beloved and there's a lot of people who you are their surrogate mom and without you they it takes a village and I do know that you know in our lifetimes as we meet different I mean different women and different mothers that there's some people who we connect with that resonate with us that it's almost like wow I really wish she was my mom but it's they're there to teach us something and I feel like you're here to teach a lot of people who you touch their lives you're here to teach them something not just sharing your energy and your love and your energy and your social aspect there is something that you teach people and this is something that they do cherish you're very cherished in your community um okay I think I lost track of everybody I don't oh okay okay Ryan I do see you okay so Ryan is here all right so thank you very much Sherry and let us know if that resonates with you. And Ryan just wants a quick reading. Oh, geez. So Jen says, as Sherry's best friend, y'all hit the nail on the head. And Sherry's like, goosebumps. She says, I love that it does take a village. Yep. Yeah. Wow. Beautiful. All right, Ryan. So let's just tune into Ryan here.
Ryan, when I tune into your ancestors, like the first person I'm meeting is somebody who was like a not necessarily like an entertainer, somebody who had a really excellent sense of humor, but they also got in trouble because they were speaking the truth, right? And there are a lot of times throughout history where it's not safe for funny people to tell the truth. And yet, that is an archetype that we need in our communities all the time. We need somebody to hold up a mirror and to ridicule things that are wrong. Yes, but it's not always safe to be that person. So as soon as I saw your name, I felt this ancestor come in, and I don't think it was anyone you would have known, but there's something about your family that holds a sense of humor sacred. And this is true in my family as well. Like, you need to be able to tell a good story. You need to be able to tell a joke and understand when you are hearing a joke, which is a different skill set. And there's just something about your family line where these people were sort of dancing up to the line of danger and away again. It's like they're they seem to me like the kind of people who are really, really good at saying something with a straight face, and only the people who are in on the joke are going to get it, right? They're gonna the person who's the target of the joke isn't necessarily going to get it, and that's okay because it's not for them, right? These are people with power who could literally just murder you with no consequences. And so your ancestors had this wonderful desire to help the people in community by pointing out, undermining, making fun of, mocking people in power who were dangerous, right? And that inheritance, I don't know how that's manifested in your life today, but it's something that I think should be cherished. And it truly is a sacred role to play in a community, in a group. And I'm going to pass it on to Stacey to sort of get your modern, like the current effect of this on your life, Ryan. But I hope that resonates, and I hope that it can prove helpful to you. It's something to be tremendously proud of.
Yeah, that was beautifully said. Um, it was interesting when I tapped in. I just got almost like take some space, like take some space, take some time to do some deep reflection. It's just talking about stepping away, pausing before responding or acting on impulses, and a real invitation to start creating a deep spiritual practice for yourself. Because it feels like it's something that it's more thought about than acted upon. And it feels like it's really here to be nurtured within you. And it was saying about taking space and time alone, and share when it's in alignment. And I also feel like there's this finding new people who reside with you, finding those people who really resonate with who you are and who you want to be, and who kind of accept you, so you don't have to hide anything, that you can really be fully authentic and expressive with yourself. And it just said, focusing on what you want, what you desire to be, do, and have. And really, it feels like it's really a time for you right now. So honor it and take that time. And you can always, you're going to make new connections, is what they're saying.
Oh, Jean, I think we've lost your audio.
Sorry, that was really beautiful. Thank you, ladies. I'm sorry about that. And Ryan, what I was feeling when I tapped into your energy is that you have a lot of compassion and you have a heart of gold, and you want to be everything for everybody. You want to be able to sort of, you know, you're almost like a plate spinner. You're like spinning a plate over here, you're spinning a plate over here, and you have your own plates that are sitting in the back getting all dusty, and nobody's spinning your plates, but you're spinning other people's plates, which is understandable. We all have to have, initiative, drive, and ambition, and have that time where you're focused on working on improving your, or getting started in life, or but I also see that there's this compassion and this there's some, not something missing, but something that you're longing for, and it's not anything outside there that you're working on. It's inside of here, and the the thing that you feel might be missing out there is this connection in here. And then once we make this connection in here, and what I mean by that is your divine spark, your soul's essence, your true authentic desires, is once we tap into this and begin to honor this. And I'm not saying that you are down on yourself. I'm just saying that self-love and putting ourselves first is honorable and empowering. And when we start to put ourselves first in a place where we are everything to everybody, it allows us to be stronger and to give more, to be that support that everybody else needs. You're trying to, not trying, but you're working on the exterior, and really it comes from in here: the strength, the stability, the abundance, the security, the confidence, and the steadiness. It all comes from in here. But you with your generous kind heart, you want to do for others, like, and people pleaser is a whole hard word, but you like to help others and be there for others. So what they're saying is, once we start to do things for ourselves on our own behalf and to empower ourselves, we then are that for others and support everybody around us. It's just like the mask on the plane. It's just the same thing as that. It's important for us to develop and nurture and pay attention to ourselves, and it's important to carve that out. Like, schedule it. Schedule a day every other week where you just go and you're spend some time, spend it a couple hours, and do what is really nourishing to your own soul, and be quiet and listen to your own guidance. So that's what I was feeling for you, Ryan. But you're such a sweetheart, a kind soul, and very helpful to so many people around you. It was really nice to touch base. So just let us know if that resonated with you, Ryan. And if not, that's okay. Maybe next time. But yeah, just let us know. Oh, okay. So Ryan says, I'm always looking at what I want to be when I grow up. I do tend to be a people pleaser, also a stoic comedian. Oh my gosh, Daphne, you hit it on the head. Oh, wow. That is amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Sense of humor is a gift from the divine. It is so important. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can see that. Very nice. Well, I just want to say thank you very much to Stacey and to Daphne for coming here tonight and doing these amazing, really just really amazing readings. They were uh, very intense for me. I was feeling it. And I just want to thank each and every one of you who are in the chat now, who are in the chat before, and are listening later. We really appreciate all of your support, all of your energy, all of your patience and cooperation. We couldn't do it without you. And I really appreciate you all for being here. And please do come back again next time. I will be on Monday with Joan and Terry Suzuki for my Magic Monday. And please do, it'll be on Joan's channel, but I'll put it in my community tab. So, ladies, where will you be next? Or did you want to talk a little bit about any offerings or availabilities that you have?
Yes, Stacey, we should talk about our group thing that we're doing in September,
Oh yeah.
our autumn equinox event.
Yeah, so on September 22nd, we have our autumn equinox event. And for this time, the theme is around using color. And we're really going to be diving deep into some healing and activations with the color, because it's what called for this time. And it is, I definitely have loved the energy that has come through it, and the 7 color rays that we're working with, and the violet flame, and we're doing a lot of work within the heart space. And it's definitely part in resonance with the season, because it's about that letting go, right? We have to let go, and we have to be able to transmute all that energy and bring in that abundance. And it's definitely going to be an alchemical, beautiful session. So.
And I get to play my sound bowls. I'm so excited.
And just when the ladies will send me the link, I'll make sure I put it on my community tab for everybody. And I just want to say thank you very much, both of you, for coming on and doing readings with me tonight. It was so much fun, and everybody is really enjoying it. They're like, "This was amazing! Thank you. You're very welcome."
Aw.
It was quite really fun for me as well. So thank you again, everybody, and enjoy your weekend and have a wonderful weekend. It's going to be a nice weekend. Debbie's all the way up north. I think she's out of my area. We had Debbie for the last couple of days. The hurricane came up, so that's what we've been dealing with. But okay, everybody, take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy this content, hit like, share, and subscribe. Remember to click the bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks again. Bye.